In this video, I'll introduce you to a new Wi-Fi irrigation controller that I've learned about and show you the installation process. Full disclosure, ImoLaza is compensating me for an honest review of their product. Here we're going to do the unboxing of this ImoLaza PRO smart sprinkler controller. This is the first one that I've seen, so we're going to do this together. Packaging on this is really nice, very sturdy. Here we have the user manual. So many controllers anymore don't have paper manuals. Of course, there's still the QR codes in here for stuff that you need for downloading the app and all that, but it's nice having this in hand. So many of them are digital and you have to go online to get the information you need. And then we have this labeling. That's great. I love that. They've included the labeling so you can label the wires before you take them off your current timer. And that's cool. They even have for the AC terminals, the common, master valve, ground. That's not your common, that's for like a grounding to the ground, like if you are in an area where there's lightning storms and stuff. That's cool. So this is a 6-station timer, but they do have this for up to 32 valves. Then they have this nice sturdy mounting template for the screws. One here, here, and here. And then this one here, I'm not sure what that's all about. But you can use a pencil to mark the center of each hole on your wall. That's cool. Well, this thing's sturdy. Built like a tank. So we have a QR code right on here. This has the MAC address right on the front of it. You don't have to go searching for it, and it's not down in the cabinet under the wiring. So many timers have this kind of information here that's included. The voltage and all that kind of stuff. They have it inside the cabinet where the wiring is, and then you get the wiring stuffed in there, and then you can't read the label anymore. So they have this right on the front. I like that. And then this is actually the battery compartment. I'm not sure how we open it yet, but they have that right on the front as well. Over here we have a place for marking the zones and where they water. I'm not sure how that works yet. Must be a label or something. I'm not sure, because I wouldn't want to use a Sharpie on here, because you always want to use pencil whenever you're marking your sheet for your zones, because things change. You might want to change the order of things or whatever, but so I'm not sure what the story is with that yet. But I can see that this door pops off for when you're doing the installation. Reset button's right on the front. That's cool. All 6 stations are shown here. Not sure how that works yet. Got your play, just like on your TV remote, we got play and pauses, or play and pauses here. Oh, I see, this is step forward, this is step back, and then this is stop. Right on the front. It'd be nice to have an interface on here. I know they didn't for cost reasons, I suppose, to keep the cost down, but it'd be nice to have a display on here to show what's actually going on when we're interfacing with this. Let's see how to open this. Okay, it's easy to open. And then here we have the specs on here. Voltage, transformer class, Wi-Fi, has all these specs on here. And then we've got the cable that will connect right here. And here's the door for this. Key to lock this up. It's always a good idea to keep your controllers locked when they're outside. It's not necessarily for vandalism, although it can be for that, but keeping it locked will help keep the rain from getting in there and ruining the timer. I've had to replace timers because they were ruined from the rain. And then they've got screw anchors in there, and your wire nuts and your screws all included. That's cool. And then this is one of the marks of a professional grade timer, and that is a real terminal strip instead of the like Ratio and Orbit and some of the others. All they have is clips, little plastic clips that the wires fit into. Well, if you're going to do any diagnostics with a multi-tester or some other tool, you can just touch it on the terminals that you need to touch it on here, and you can get your diagnostics that you need. Whereas with those clippy things, you can't do that. So that, to me, is the mark of a professional grade timer. So we've got our common down here, and we have the 2 sensor terminals, 2 common terminals, our master valve, and then our 6 stations. And then here's, these would open up if we had a timer with more capacity to it. So I don't suppose this part opens up, nope. But here they give you, I like that. You can punch out whatever size pipe you need. That's really cool. You don't usually see that. And look here, they have these little slots in here for using your flat blade screwdriver to punch those out, and I like that too. Very cool. And we've got the knockouts in the back in case you need the wire from the back. So to install this, it's going to get hung on this screw and then drill through on whichever of these holes you need. Typically it's this one, you hang it on here, and typically you drill through this one and this one. That's normal, but sometimes there's things in the way and you can't do that. Very nice, very sturdy. I found the perfect client to offer this new to me controller to. Michael called me due to some wiring issues with his irrigation system, and in the process I saw that his controller had seen better days. It was a Hardy rain dial 6-station indoor timer built in the early 90s, and the buttons were now difficult to operate, so he agreed to try out this new ImoLaza timer and give me his honest feedback after using it, which you'll hear in a few minutes. All right, today we're here with Michael, and he's used the ImoLaza app now for several weeks, and we're going to get his take on it. Michael,
Yeah.
what did you think about that?
Install was easy. I've really enjoyed it. Certainly much easier than the old system. So happy to have Tom out here to fix that and put this in. And yeah, looking forward to sharing my thoughts with everyone.
Cool. You downloaded the app onto your phone, and then what was the process from there? How'd that go?
Sure. So standing near the receiver, it's more or less just connecting to your home Wi-Fi and punching some numbers, following some fairly simple instructions. And at that point, it's really just assigning the different zones on the app. And from there, you can set schedules, do individual runs, but didn't take more than 10 minutes probably.
Cool, cool. Any other thoughts that you have on it? Did you have any difficulties?
No difficulties. They're just overall, for someone who likes to work out of my phone, it's so much easier to set the schedules compared to going out to the system and doing the manual timer. Seems like the gardener is always changing it, etc. So now I control it from my phone. If I'm out of town, I control it. Just a lot easier for someone who does everything else on their phone.
Cool. And do you have the setting activated that will allow the local weather stations to adjust your run times and turn it off when it's raining?
Good question. So I don't have it so where somebody else can do it automatically, but I did do these settings where depending on how much rain we receive, it'll adjust how much outflow it gives for that day. So that's nice. I know there's different adjustments for the types of soil you can put in there, so you can get really in depth if you're really trying to get detailed.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much. We're going to take a look around here and watch that app in action. So we'll do that here in a moment.
Great.
I'll show you the installation process in a moment, but first I want to walk you around the property and let you see the app in action being used as a remote control device to turn on each zone.
So we're just going to hit that button to do a one-time run. We'll do a new quick run. This is my back lawn. Next, we'll just say 5 minutes. We hit go.
Okay, now it's time to show you the simple installation process. First, I removed the old timer off the wall. I'm going to use this existing screw to hang the new timer on, but I'm going to use their mounting template. So to use the hole right there, I'll take that screw out and put the template there and then put the screw back in. And then I can use my torpedo level to get this level, and then I can mark where these screw holes need to go in the wall. Okay, I've got this mounted on here nice and sturdy. You can pop that door off to do the installation a little easier, but I left it on because this is kind of in a corner, and I was concerned that once I got this timer installed that I might have a tough time getting that on there. I probably wouldn't have. This is pretty, if they give you a wide space in here, but still, just the same, I've run into problems in the past where I had to take the timer back off the wall and pop the door on, so I just left it on. It's not that heavy, so it's not the big deal. So my next step is to loosen up the terminal screws that I need, which in this case is just the common and 1 through 4, and then I'll go from there. I used a long screwdriver, flat blade screwdriver, and palm of my hand and just knock that piece out so that I could put a 3/4 inch male adapter on there with a lock nut. Ultimately that should be done before you hang the timer, but I didn't think about it. And you don't need to tighten that. That's just snug on there. See, I can just spin it like, it's just to hold that there, and then I'm just going to pop the pipe into it, and I'm not going to glue it. There's no need for that. It'll fit in there snug. So I measured and found that I needed it about 53 inches for the pipe, 3/4 inch pipe, and I left enough room down at the bottom for the floor down there. Yes, that's mold, and the owner knows about it and he's going to deal with it. But anyway, left enough room down there for the wire to easily bend at the bottom to go horizontal to go along this wall here. I taped the ends of the wires together to make it easier to feed it through so that the wires don't spring out inside the pipe. So now I'll feed the wire through the pipe while I'm still holding it. Okay, I have the wire pulled through, and I've just tucked it in under the drywall, put a kind of a loop there for slack, and then I have this here, and if I want to get fancy I can put a clamp here. One hole rigid clamp would be all you need just to hold it in place there. And now I get to wire it up. One review note, it'd be nice to have these wires stripped back a little more. I am gonna have to strip that back a bit more because that's a bit short, especially with these huge wire nuts that they supply. And also it'd be nice to have the wire that's in the timer, these 3 wires, it'd be nice to have them longer. Us Americans with big hands, I'm having a tough time working in this tiny space here, so maybe consider making these longer. Okay, now that I've got the power wires connected, I can put the door on that spot there to cover them up. This concludes the installation and review of the new ImoLaza timers. Remember, you can only purchase these Pro models and the 20% discount using the links below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.